Hello and welcome to RPG Book Club, the podcast where we play a bit of a video game and talk about how it made us feel. But not today. No, today I am Trish, and I have two game developers with me for an exclusive interview about their newly released game, Possum Boy. Please introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Bernard, David Bernard Houck. I wrote and directed How Am I Supposed to Fit In at College When There Aren't Any Other Animal People, But I'm a Possum Boy, The Ballad of Joey Virginia.
And I'm Sam Allman. I am the head programmer on Possum Boy, The Ballad of Joey Virginia.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for joining me on this recording. I know you have very busy schedules, for taking time out of that for this was very appreciated.
Yes, I totally would not normally be recording a podcast.
Yeah,
definitely not
on a weekday night.
Yeah,
That's not how I spend
like,
my nights.
You can't tell because we don't have the video feed live, but I'm wearing one of those comical anime heads, like I'm a mangaka that doesn't like to be photographed.
I'm wearing a t-shirt and a blazer over it with jeans and sneakers. So I'm business, but I'm also casual. But I'm not business casual.
I'm cosplaying as Lois Lane from the new Superman movie. I'm wearing just like a regular shirt with like a black vest over it. All right then. First actual question. How would each of you sum up Possum Boy, starting with you, Bernard?
Oh, goodness. It is a romantic comedy visual novel, is sort of the tagline that I gave it. And it's just about a anthropomorphic possum boy who's the only animal person around. Animal people are not a thing in this world, but he is an animal person and he feels like a freak, but he goes to college and everyone's weirdly chill about it.
Incredible. What about you, Sam?
So Possum Boy is a really cool, like it's like exactly in the middle between a like dating sim visual novel and a plain Jane visual novel. It is like right in the middle. There's things that feel dating sim-ish, but there are no stats. Thank fucking God. It was hard enough to get this working. If there were stats, I would cry. But for me, the thing that I love about it, and I don't know if this is real or not, but this is what I have found from writing none of the words, just reading them as I code. The game is secretly about being gay, trans, weirdo, whatever in a small town, and it being the thing that people beat you up for, and then you grow up, and it's the thing that people like you for, and that hits incredibly home for me because specifically, I'm from a small town in Texas, so Joey in the game is from a small town in Texas, so it hits you like right there in the feels. And every time somebody is like, "Joey, you're all right," I'm like, "I'm all right too." That's what the game is. It's about being all right.
If I had played this game, perhaps even play tested it, I would say something along the lines of how that is very impactful, meaningful for me too, coming from a very rural community, as both a trans woman and a lesbian. But I haven't, clearly. I'm interviewing you both. It'd be very unprofessional for me to have such a stake in the creation of the game. So, Bernard, next question. Where did the idea for Possum Boy come from?
I don't remember. I started writing this 5 years ago. I wrote most of it during NaNoWriMo 2020. I legitimately have no idea where I got this idea.
Understood. So that means,
Beautiful.
Listeners, we're all free to create our own origin story for how Bernard was afflicted with the idea of Possum Boy.
I mean, one thing is that I love possums. I think they're so cute.
Same!
And
Possums are great!
I think I probably got the idea for an anthropomorphic animal person who's the only animal person, and then decided very quickly to make them an opossum because I love possums, and I think, and possums are an animal a lot of people think are like kind of gross or weird or scary. So I feel like that works for this. It it wouldn't work as well as if it were like a dog girl, because everyone loves dog girls these days.
I understand completely. If I were the sort of person who was what's the colloquial term, a furry, and if I had a persona or multiple personas, a possum would definitely be one of them.
Nice.
Now, what was your creative process like for this game? You mentioned NaNoWriMo being where you did the bulk of the script writing, but how did that work exactly? Where did you go from there? How did Sam get involved in it? I'd love to know.
So yeah, it was a long time ago. A lot of it is fuzzy when I wrote most of it. But I wasn't really doing anything at the time. It was 2020, so, a lot of us weren't really doing much at the time. And I was like, I want to write this thing about a guy going to college, and I don't want to deal with the implications of COVID, because that would make it all sorts of weird and complicated. So I'm going to set it in 2019. And then it came out 5 years later, and now it's like a period piece. I just sort of sat down and hammered it out mostly in a month. Originally, there were only 4 dateable characters, but then I was sort of like, yeah, that doesn't seem like enough. I've watched Tim Rogers' Tokimeki Memorial video multiple times. That doesn't seem like enough. So I added 2 more late in the writing, and I had to rearrange things to fit these other 2 characters in. And it was difficult, and also probably the wrong move, because it made things a lot bigger, and it scope creep in a visual novel is a thing that can happen, it turns out. But I love those 2 characters I added, and now there's 6 dateable characters, which is a lot. A lot of visual novels, indie visual novels on this sort of scale have 2 or 3, so I absolutely did not need to add 2 more. But I love them both, and they never would have existed if not for my hubris.
Well, it sounds like your hubris is a gift to those who play the game, and I think that's wonderful.
Yeah, how I got involved is I do small-time graphic design on the side. That's all of the podcast design stuff. Art is by Laurel Neal, who also is the artist for Possum Boy. But the design part of the stuff for the podcast, I make myself. So Bernard was like, hey, can you help me make the text boxes and menus and stuff? And I was like, yeah, sure. So I would do those, and then had to figure out how to implement them in RenPy. And so I was implementing them for him, and then he was like, oh hey, Maddie did the first pass of the programming. It's like, there's this bug, and I'm like, oh well, I was reading how to put in the text boxes, I think I know how to fix that. And so I fixed another bug, and then fixed another bug, and then programmed the rest of the game. And here we are now.
Well, it seems like you once again have answered my next question, at least partially. But what are some of your biggest inspirations when it comes to Possum Boy? What other works of art, whether they be other visual novels or things outside of this particular medium and genre, do you think had an influence on your work?
So, it's kind of weird. I've thought about what my influences are before, and I feel like a lot of them are not actually my favorite things. They're things that I like, but my absolute favorite things are insane action movies and really mechanically complex JRPGs, but partly because I don't have the resources to make something like that. Often that's not what I end up making. Honestly, I'd say a big influence on my writing here and in some other places has probably been the webcomic questionable content, because I'm a millennial.
My wife is a huge fan of questionable content. I know very little about it except what she tells me.
It's like, what if you were a bunch of millennial hipsters, and then in a few years, eventually everyone was a gay robot?
Possibly where our future is heading.
Yes. But it's just very much a fun slice of life It's a fun slice of life webcomic about people just going around saying silly things, having feelings, being gay robots. Not everyone is a gay robot, but a lot of people are gay robots.
So, as the writer of literally only 2 words in the entire script, where my inspirations come from is I like jokes that no one will ever get, and they make me very happy. And the 2 words that I wrote, you only will know if you've memorized a couple Wikipedia pages because they're deep cuts, but they make me laugh. So
I
hopefully I'll
literally
find
don't
them.
know what you're talking about.
Oh my God.
Then I did my job well. That makes it funnier to me.
If you don't want to reveal this, please message me later because, yeah. Oh, you just messaged me. I know. I get it now.
Yeah.
Incredible. I do want to say, Bernard, in regards to your influences not necessarily being your favorite things, I think that makes a lot of sense, especially in regards to, as a creator myself, not to make this interview about me, I do feel as though frequently it is the pieces of art that we enjoy to some extent, but we also feel like we have a handhold in it because we feel like we can see how we would do things differently or do things in a way that appeals more to your own sensibilities. Those are the kinds of things that make for great inspiration, as opposed to something that completely fits to your completely appeals to you and that you have a hard time finding anything you don't like about. Because those are the sorts of things that it's hard to say I want to do a thing like this because you already feel like it's been done as good as it can be done. If that makes any sense.
That makes sense. I mean, if I had all the resources in the world and I wanted to make something as good as the Wachowskis' Speed Racer, I can't just make Speed Racer again.
Yeah.
They already made it, and they did a good job. So
I really need to see that film.
Oh, it's so good!
I know, I keep hearing that. I will work in a library. I could get it. Here's the problem: is I could get it sent to me on DVD. Like I could put a hold on it, and they could send it from another library. The problem is I don't own a DVD player anymore.
I have my PS3 hooked up to my CRT, so I can watch Speed Racer as it was intended.
Oh my God. Next question for both of you: what about this game are you the most proud of?
I'm proud of finishing it.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Fair. That's a big thing. As someone who rarely finishes anything, I understand that sounds incredible.
It took a long time and a lot of work, and and there were a lot of times I thought I would never finish it or that even I shouldn't finish it. But here it is. You can buy it if you want.
You should.
I am most proud of like the scrappiness of the code, which doesn't make sense that much, but like the way we figured it out and made everything feels like it's wrong and shouldn't work. Namely, we're using strings, like the data type strings, in ways that are stupid and prone to breaking. And trust me, they're prone to breaking. And I had to fix a lot of bugs because of it. But it's like we brought it from like sheer force of will from just lines to a playable video game, and I like that.
Incredible. Love to hear that. Next one, and it's totally fine if you don't have an answer for this question, really, but if there was any element of this game you could go back and change, what would it be? And when I say this, I know obviously you just released the game. There's been a lot of the game that you've been tweaking for, quite a while now to get it out. But of course, when it comes to game development, there are very base level things that were done at the very start that are a lot harder to change later in development. So just throwing that question out, if there's anything you could go back and change.
One thing I would change is I feel like I should have included some sort of trans representation, because when I wrote it, I was like, I don't know how to tell that kind of story. I don't know. I just won't really put it in the game. But, I feel like maybe that should have been there, but by the time I had written the game, it was like I would have to completely break down the game and rebuild it in order to change a character or anything. However, as I finished up the game and stuff, one character started whispering to me, I think I'm an egg.
Oh, please share with our audience.
Oh, so this is, I guess, an exclusive. If you happen to listen to this interview, you get to know who I think is a egg. And I do have a sort of epilogue DLC in mind, and if that ever happens, we might explore it there. But I think Rose is a egg.
Ooh, that is fascinating. I was going to bring up Rose as a character who possibly already transitioned.
Interesting. Maddie Grace in the chat says, "Yeah, that tracks."
What about you, Sam? Is there anything, if you could magically go back and change Bernard's decisions earlier in development?
I'm going to answer for Sam. I think what Sam wishes is that we'd started using GitHub earlier.
Oh yeah, we added GitHub after we finished and we were in bug testing. It would have been so much easier if we had used GitHub from the beginning. I have like 9 folders that are Possum Boy -date, where it's like, this is where we stopped, and I sent it to Bernard, so I can't look at that one anymore. I have to wait to get one from Bernard, and it would have been great to just have GitHub and we could just do that the whole time. But if I were able to laser something into Bernard's brain, I would say, hey, that character that I love so much, it would be fine if he was just on the critical path. You don't have to go crazy with it. Going crazy with it ruined my life-ish.
Yeah. If you play this game and you date the character named Raj and you get through his plot line without any bugs or anything, I hope you appreciate it, because it was a lot of hard work for me, but mostly for Sam.
Yeah, like there were some like creative writing things we got like right there at the end. There was like one kind of story bug where like it didn't make sense, and instead of doing a lot of programming to make it make sense, Bernard changed a couple text boxes and saved me a lot of heck. So love Raj to death. He's the best boy, but how you unlock his route is complicated, to say the least.
It's sort of like Tokimeki Memorial, where the more centrally positioned dating option is the hardest to get. I don't remember if that was intentional.
Before we go to my next question, we actually have a question from a member of the audience who's listening right now. From Maddie Grace. Hi guys, this is Maddie Grace. I helped with this game early on, but then stopped, mostly because I have a bad brain and I'm unreliable, so I'm mostly just a fan. You may remember me from back in the day RPG Book Club. Anyway, here's my question. The structure of the game is, as Sam mentioned earlier, kind of unique. It's not a dating sim or non-linear, choicey adventure game, but it's also not a super linear visual novel. So how did that happen? Were you intentionally trying to make something different? What about what already existing visual novels or dating sims or whatever influenced you? Or were you looking at / not looking at either before or during development? Fuck it, here's a second question if you want to answer it. This game is genuinely insanely funny. How the fuck do you be so funny? You make it seem easy, but video games that try to be funny really, really aren't. What the heck? Thank you, Maddie Grace, for that question.
Now I'm looking at the comment to remember what the first question was, because the second question pushed the first one out of my brain, because I also have bad brain. So I grew up, when I was growing up, when I was like a teenager and stuff, I did not have access to anime. I did have access to a Nintendo DS, so I played and replayed the Ace Attorney games a lot, and that was like my anime. So there's probably influence there. Honestly, I think probably the visual novel that directly influenced this the most, and again, this is something that is not my favorite thing, it's just a thing that I like, okay, and that I experienced one time, and just something about it infected me. The game that probably influenced the structure and stuff of this game the most is an old gay visual novel called Coming Out on Top. Very low-hanging fruit pun. but it's a game about dating dudes as a dude, and it has a similar structure to this, as I recall. And actually, the thing where in the game, Joey is a tutor, and you choose during your free times to go to the tutoring center when you're not scheduled, just to do like a sort of I'm there if someone shows up without an appointment, and I make money that way, extra money that way. That is just stolen from coming out on top.
Nice.
And fun fact about that, originally there was going to be a whole system where each time you tutor, you gain a certain amount of money and you could spend the money on different things. Eventually, I had only thought of like 3 things to spend money on. So I was like, what if I just cut out 2 of them? And the other one is just, if you've tutored enough at this point, you can buy this one thing. And so it's just like a check. It's just a flag. And of course, that thing is on Raj's path because his path has to be the most complicated.
Yeah, the other thing that you canonically buy in this game, even if you have not tutored, is like, oh, I have a little money, I should go buy that thing. Only Raj's is game design at all.
So, pro tip: if you are trying to go down Raj's path, tutor a few times, interspersed with hanging out with him.
Yeah, that's one thing that I like about the structure of this game is the optimal playthrough. There's a scene about 75% of the way through the game, which is kind of the like candles on Grandpa's gravestone in Stardew Valley, where it's like you can see if you're doing good. And the way to get that one is not just to say all of the right things all of the time. You like have to do things in a specific order by a certain time. It's like it's not free. And some visual novels are super free, where it's like you show up and it's like, who do you want to walk to class, the pink-haired girl or the green-haired girl? And that's how you start each route. It's like these are all interspersed, and I really like that about the game.
We don't even have a pink-haired girl and a green-haired girl. We do have a purple-haired girl.
Yes.
All right, then. Next question. Oh, actually, second question for Maddie, refocusing. Let's see, what was the question? Oh, yes. How the fuck are you so funny?
I don't know. Because I'm better than other people.
Clearly.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably the boring answer is I've been writing a long time. I've written a lot of words in my life, fiction and non, for school and extracurricular. I've been writing a long time.
So that is a thing I might relate to a little bit.
I think one of the reasons, I don't know if it's how Bernard is funny, but it's one of the ways that the game is funny that I really like, is very few funny things happen. Like nothing ever feels like a joke. It's just funny throughout. It reminds me of, not to this level, but The Orville is a Star Trek show where the people are funny all the time. They have a lot more gags than Possum Boy does, but it's like you can watch it as just it's a Star Trek show and I'm interested in it for all of the sci-fi, but then I'm also laughing throughout it. And this is just a slice of life visual novel, like sincerely, but then there's jokes all through it because all the characters are funny. And I think that's how for Maddie's thing of how she mentioned that video games try to be funny and usually aren't, but this one is. I think the reason is we never did anything for the gag, or Bernard never did anything for the gag.
There are some gags.
I, as said before, only added 2 words to the script, and both of them are jokes. So I put in gags, but I don't think anything nothing is like a gag that doesn't also mean something, at the very least.
I think one of the funniest scenes in the game, and it's hard for me to determine what's funny when I wrote it, but one of the scenes I think is pretty funny. Actually, I was showing early script versions to some people, and Maddie Grace was like, "You could totally expand this scene." And I was like, "Okay." So I tried to expand the scene, and it turned out really good and funny. So thank you, Maddie Grace.
Wonderful. Now, I do have our penultimate question, and this is a bit of a silly one, which is fitting because we were just talking about humor. Now, assuming either, and you can take this either way of if you were the same age as these characters, or if the older versions of these characters who are about the same age as you are now, if you could date any of the romance options in this game, who would you choose?
I'll go first.
Yeah, you go
because
first.
I know this instantly. So for some reason, it's been this way since I was a child. I have always been attracted to girls with the same name as me, and on top of that, the girl who has the same name as me in this game literally looks exactly like my partner. So that one's easy. I would date Sam.
You know, I've heard from a playtester that Sam is a fairly attractive character who would be many people's choice.
Ironically, my partner that looks like it was bought the game and played through it and chose Sam as their first route, so they dated themselves, which is beautiful.
Nice. I feel like I could list them all out in order of how I would, which ones I would prefer to date. But I think I would feel weird doing that.
I think maybe stick to just the one.
Yeah, but Raj is best boy.
Raj is best boy.
Raj is a very cute. Of all the boys, I will say, no, I can't say that. I was gonna say, I think Orson is. Sorry, is it Orson? I always forget his name.
It's Orson.
Orson. I think Orson would probably be, of the boys, the one I would want to date most. But Raj is a close second. He's a very cute soft boy. But also the girls in this game are really great, and I am a known girl liker. Anyway, last question of our interview. What are your next plans when it comes to game development?
Oh boy, we have plans.
Yeah.
What do you feel free sharing, of course, because of course you want to keep some things under wrap.
So, way back in the day, like during college, and unfortunately that was a long time ago now, me and some friends made a interactive fiction narrative sort of choose your own adventure audiobook game. It's a lot of things. And I love it so much, but it had a lot of problems, and it was an iPhone game, and it eventually, like, I don't know what the term is, deprecated and fell off the App Store because we couldn't update it. Yeah, Maddie Grace says it's unplayable, broken, and problematic. And yeah, that's true. So what Sam and I are going to do next is we are going to completely remake it. I've been working on rewriting it from the ground up. Some things are staying the same, but I've just been going through the script, which we managed to find, and just completely rewriting it. The whole thing is read by a narrator. I reached out to the narrator, was like, "Hey, do you want to do it again?" And she was like, "Yes, I would love to do it again. I'm so much better at voice acting now." I was like, "Hell yeah." And reached out to the composer and was like, "Hey, can we use the music again?" He was like, "Yeah." And I was like, would you maybe want to make some more music, redo a few things? And he was like, "Yeah." So looks like it's gonna happen. I don't really feel like announcing the title or anything yet.
Yeah, it gives away too much if we say what the title is. It almost like Possum Boy kind of is just on Front Street what it's about. So once we're farther along, it will be the time to say the name.
But yes, it also involves dumb animal characters.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Sam, did you have any other projects besides that one you wanted to talk about?
So I have mentioned it on and off a bajillion times, but the in between these two visual novel projects, I'm hoping, and Bernard actually having no idea what he was doing was just like, "Have you seen this?" Found the thing that made video game development impossible for me, and it's a plugin that makes it trivial, like incredibly easy. And so I'm hoping that this is a like 5-10 year plan, because it's stupid big, because I've been working on it for a very long time. I have a RPG planned that I want to do that is stupid and maximalist and well outside of the things that an indie developer should make. So it will probably never come out. But I because I finished Possum Boy, I have the hubris now. I'm like, I can do it. I finished the game before. That's easy. I can do it again. And so I'm hoping that I can make that one eventually.
And I mean, working on these smaller projects like Possum Boy and the next thing is good, because you get to learn from your mistakes, like not using GitHub. And which, man, we should have been using GitHub earlier.
It's so wonderful now that we're fixing bugs. Bernard's like, oh, hey, this thing is broken. And I'm like, okay, cool. I fixed it. And he presses one button and he gets the fix. It's beautiful.
And
GitHub
I
is
can
so
keep working on
complicated.
my own stuff while I'm waiting for Sam to do the fix. It's so great.
That's incredible. People should use GitHub.
It's a small time website. I think more people should know about it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
you may not have heard of it.
Well, thank you both so much for doing this interview with me. I'm really glad I got to talk to you about this game. I think it has a lot of potential, and more people need to know about it.
And we didn't mention it, but it has a fantastic original soundtrack by Matt Martin. Such a great soundtrack. I love it. I'll put in some of the music as the intro and outro and stuff.
Speaking of the outro.
Yeah. Trish, if you don't mind me taking over your show for a bit, I think I would like to read the outro for you, if that's fine.
You know what? I'll allow it.
So that will do it for this episode. If you like what you heard today, you should go and buy Possum Boy at bigknife.games. And
that will take you to the itch page. It's only available on itch right now.
Yes.
We're working on Steam.
Yeah. That's the next small hurdle that we have to get over, is Steam support. But we're working.
Did you know in order to publish a game on Steam, you have to give Steam $100? We're trying to figure out where to get $100. Anyone have $100?
Or if you have $10 and 10 of you listening give us $10, we can be on Steam. So do that.
I mean, the payment processors and stuff takes them out of that, so it'll probably be like 11 or 12 people with $10. But still,
yeah,
it's on sale for $10 at a launch discount. Go to bigknife.games and buy it.
Yes. If you like the sound of the three of us's voice, you can head on over to www.rpg.club, where any and all donations help us offset the cost of running.
Did you say rpg.club instead of rpgbook.club?
Probably. My mouth is really dry for some reason. Yeah, I've been downing water this entire interview, and my mouth feels like it's made out of cotton. But yes, it is www.rpgbook.club. Any and all donations will help us offset the cost of running the show. If you decide to donate $1 more a month, you'll become one of our gadabouts and also get access to our bonus feed filled with after shows for every episode, as well as bonus seasons of the show, such as Tales of Podcastia, Escape Pod, and the JRPG Canon. And if you up your donation to $5 or more each month, you can become one of our warriors and get your name read at the end of every episode, a little like this. Shouts to Dragonslayer19, Freddie Rodriguez, Aaron524, and Jfro Prime. And if you really, really love us and you want to be a luminary, you can donate $20 or more a month and get a short one-sentence shout-out or advert right at the end of each episode, kind of like this. Shoutouts to El Tantavi, who wants you to check out Aftermath.site, a worker-owned, reader-supported news site covering video games, the internet, and the cultures that surround them. Shouts to Kale Dronis, who says to check out Podcasters Assemble, a documentary-style, crowdsourced movie, hype, and rewatch podcast. Every season, podcasters from around the world are assembled to review, reminisce, and riff on a popular franchise. And then shoutouts to Vim K, who says, Gideon rolled backwards off her seat as his antique fist came down, skidding out of his way with a shower of dust and gravel. And then shoutouts to It's Claire Time, who says, for you TTRPG nerds, check out Fabula Ultima. I'm not affiliated with the game, I just think it's neat. For this interview about Possum Boy, I've been Sam.
I'm Bernard.
And I'm Trish. Toodaloo, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.